Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we are going to talk all about going gray and going gray gracefully. Today, I have my buddy in the chair. This is all the way my boo, Mara Brock Akil. If you are not familiar with her, she is the writer of plenty of our favorite shows, such as Girlfriends, Being Mary Jane, The Game, and Love Is, just to name a few. And today we are going to press her hair out. Our birthday was coming up. Our birthday is both May 27th. This is my 20 twin. That's what we call each other. And yeah, just watch me as I go look at her. She's just so full of bliss. And such a gem to have around. So I'm just starting off by sectioning her hair to get this blow dry started. Now, you want to make sure that before you blow dry anyone's hair or your own hair, to use a heat protectant. Heat protectant causes a barrier between your hair and the high temperatures of blow dryers, flat irons, or whatever you're using. Any type of heat on your hair, direct or indirect, you need a heat protectant. And with gray hair, you especially want to use it because you don't want that hair turning yellow on you when you use the heat. It happens so easily. So just make sure that you get a good heat protectant to help you avoid that. Now, when blow drying the hair, I know you always see me using a paddle brush. I love to use a paddle brush, whether it's a Denman brush or Spornet is another brush that I use. And what a paddle brush does is it separates those strands and gives the hair more body and more volume. Some people like to use a comb attachment because the comb attachment makes it a lot easier, but it also makes those strands kind of stick together a little bit. And I just like to separate them and just cause that body. It is something that really helps with a lot of people get in the comments and like, how do you get the hair to move like that? I'm telling you, it starts with a good shampoo, rinsing that conditioner out really well, and then using a paddle brush, some people call it a wig brush, to separate those strands and give it that volume that it needs. I will make sure to put the link for these brushes below. I know I ain't even gonna talk about the blow dry, y'all. I'm not even gonna get into it. But the link for both of those brushes will be below. The Denman is my favorite because it holds up so much better. But price wise, the Spornet works really well too, and it's a lot lower than the Denman brush. But I feel like the Denman brush doesn't melt as fast. I've had an old video where I talked about how I've had the same Denman brush from when I was in school, and I mean those teeth really hold up. So now I'm just gonna go in and part Mara out because I'm getting ready to press her out. Like I said, she want her hair pressed for her birthday, and that's what we are going to do. Just press it nice and straight. So of course I'm pressing her hair with my 22 titania flat iron. They are in stock right now. This is the color Signature Royal, and or you could get it in black. The black one is called Smoke and Mirrors. We actually had two of our followers slash supporters help us name those irons, and we sent them free irons for naming them. So thanks again, y'all. So yeah, now I just want to talk to y'all about a few tips on going gray gracefully. Now, our first tip today is use a good deep conditioner. Gray hair is beautiful, but it does require a little more attention than darker pigments. It tends to get a little dry and it also needs extra hydration. Get a hydration shampoo that doesn't strip the moisture out of the hair and protein rich conditioner. Today I used our resurrection mask and that is available at deeperthanhair.com. The next tip I have is to dye your hair to match your roots. Now, although Mara went cold turkey and transitioned naturally, the alternative to that is just dyeing your hair to match your roots. Now, I suggest you do some heavy research and find a professional hairstylist that specializes in permanent color. And as long as your hair is healthy and strong enough, you're good to go. My next tip is just cut your hair short. I know this isn't many people's favorite, but you could cut your hair into a shorter style that eliminates your previous hair color altogether. A gray bob or a pixie could be fire. Next, you really want to use purple shampoos to avoid yellowing and brassiness. The last thing you want is a blue or green based shampoo that will make your silver hair appear muddy. Shimmering lights is a great suggestion. My next tip is just try different styles. Have fun with your gray. It's 2022. I know this is a major concern, but it doesn't have to age you. Every style you did before, you could do again and look just as fly and beautiful. Check out Mara here. She's going off, okay? So just have fun. Matter of fact, try styles you never even did before. I bet you'll love it. My last tip is just don't start until you're absolutely ready. Gray hair takes some patience, especially when transitioning, and for some getting used to. Let it be your journey and don't let other people's opinions deter you from going gray gracefully. I love Mara's hair. It's given like a little salt and pepper. It's like she has high and low lights of gray. And it's actually, I want to call it pepper and salt instead of salt and pepper, but as you can see, she's a lot more lighter gray around her edges, and then she has like lighter gray streak throughout. But I just think it's so beautiful, and look how well it's soaking out. Now here she was just concerned about the short pieces at the top of her hair. A lot of people ask me about these. You get your hair pressed out and it's like a few short pieces just sticking up and they don't seem to lay down, especially if for like a day or two once the oil starts to come through from your scalp. But as long as those pieces aren't a few even pieces in the same spot, it's not breakage. It's just probably part of your growth and replace system where your hair sheds every day and it grows back in. So those short pieces aren't too much of a concern as long as you don't see a few that's completely even with each other next to each other. More than likely, it's not breakage. If you have transitioned to gray already, please can you share your journey with us in the comments? Or if you're thinking about it, write your concerns down. And let's just talk about it because I know that going gray isn't the easiest for some. But I think it's such a beautiful thing. Look at her hair. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And a lot of us, it's a hard transition for some of us. I my mom and dad grayed very late. I just got my first gray like earlier this year, one gray hair, and I just can't. I'm like, oh my god, I have a gray, but it's like I'm 39 years old and it's going to happen. You know what I mean? But some people gray a lot earlier. I've been doing clients that's been gray since their teenage years, and then some people gray in their 20s, 30s, so It's just something that has to happen. Bunch of wisdom coming through your scalp. You know what I'm saying? So now that Mara's hair is soaked out, I'm going to give her a dust. Now, you see this little tiny bit of hair that she's getting cut? It's because we cut it pretty often. So long as you just take care of those ends every single time, like you don't have to get a trim every time, but she literally only has to get a dust today. She likes to keep her ends nice and fresh, and I really suggest that over getting big trims all the time. You know, like you can just keep your ends nice and fresh every time. So we usually just trim it every time we press her out, which isn't often. Mara wears her natural curls and wave patterns at most times, but when we press it out, this is what she gets. You know what? I just thought about it. Like a few months ago, we took a few inches off of Mara's hair because her ends were very thin and just going through a little something from wearing her natural hair without cutting it. And I just noticed that when you cut a lot of inches off, it usually stays nice and blunt for a long time. And it's just a good idea to stay on top of that blunt cut with a dust. So just think about that, guys. Just whenever you get a nice blunt cut, when you get a dust, it keeps your hair chunky from root to tip. Now I'm just bringing it around town, giving her a little shape in the front, just a little long layers. And, you know, Mara is, look at this beautiful woman, okay? This is just, this is my girl. This is my girl. You see, you got the look on the cape. That is my friend Devontae's salon in Beverly Hills. Shout out to him. And Mara is ready to go. She is ready for her birthday. Clearly, our birthday passed May 27th, but we both had great times. And she's fire and she is ready. What? You see her look back at us? She was feeling it, and that's exactly how I want my clients to feel every time they leave the salon. Just want them to feel so happy with themselves and their hair and their appearance. And what? Oh, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.